The holiday baking season may be over, but it's still winter time and we're going to bake something. We're going to bake something. We're going to bake something really good. Welcome back, everybody. Dave Guerra, This Vet Cooks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, so what are we doing in this episode? Yeah, we're baking something. We're going to be baking some bannock bread. Bannock bread. It's a long time. I've wanted to make it. And actually, one of my #1 fans, she sent it over and she asked and she says, "Hey, Dad, here is this recipe. Can you make this on your show?" Here it is. So we're making bannock bread. It's like two minds were thinking the same thing. So that's pretty cool. But bannock bread is what's on tap. And bannock bread really is a very flexible bread. You could use it, you can make it at the campsite, you can make it at home, you can make it in a loaf pan, you can make it on a skillet, on a cast iron skillet while you're out there. Again, very flexible, it's very quick, very easy to make, very simple to put together. It doesn't take but a handful of ingredients, and of course you can embellish and you can, add a little here, add a little there, again, to suit you and what you want to do with it. So make this recipe yours. And hey, if you've ever made bannock bread, let me know. If you're interested in making bannock bread and you make it, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what your recipe is, what you did differently, or what's going on. So here it is. Long time recipe that I've wanted to make. Fan suggested, my daughter actually, and still she's a fan, right? So let's get to work. Let's go over the ingredient list real quick. Alright, so we're going to start off with some flour, 3 cups of flour, 2/3 cup sugar, there it is, sugar is right there, and then 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 1/3 cups of raisins, I'm sorry, 1 1/2 cup of raisins, 1 1/4 cup buttermilk, it's still in the fridge, we don't want it to go bad, and 2 tablespoons of oil. There's the oil, and of course 2 eggs. We got these up to room temperature now, so they're good to go. All right, let's go ahead and put this all together. All right, we're going to need, for this one though, folks, you need to prepare yourselves. We need 2 bowls. 2 bowls. First bowl, we're going to put all the dry ingredients in here: the flour, the salt, the powders, the baking powders, the baking sodas, the sugar, all of that, all the dry. In the second one, we're going to beat the 2 eggs. We're just going to beat them. We're going to beat them, and then we're going to fold it or combine the buttermilk and the oil, and then eventually we're going to pour this one. We'll pour this one into this one, and then we'll make a nice dough. And again, it's no yeast, so there's no need to rise. That's why we're using the baking powder and the baking soda. So there's no need to rise. And then we're going to bake it at 350 for about an hour, give or take. I'll look at the recipe again. But it's going to be tasty, so let's get to mixing and let's get to beating. All right, here we go. Before I forget, it's at this point now, before we start combining everything, let's go ahead and get that oven prepped. Let's get it up to 350. Let's go ahead and make that happen. All right, now we'll go ahead and get things started. Okay, so this is the bowl where all the egg and all the wet stuff's going to go, so get that in there. Oh my goodness. Get all the egg out. All the egg, none of the shells, please. Now we add the oil. And the buttermilk. Now we do our buttermilk, 1 1/4 cup of that. Now you know what the buttermilk comes from, right? After they make butter, what's left over, the wet. Remember, butter's a solid, or semi-solid, from whole milk. There it is. All right, we're going to set that aside. Now I can do the dry ingredients. Alright, so our flour's in there. Next we're going to add our sugar. And in this case I did a 50-50. A third of a cup of pure cane sugar, a third of a cup of Splenda. Again, for those of us that are watching that. And again, you could have done 1 for 1, which means 2/3 of a cup of Splenda, or 2/3 of a cup of whole pure cane sugar. Get that in there mixed in. We'll get our baking powder, our baking soda in there next. Get that all worked in there. There we go. There goes our powder. That's our powder. The other one was the soda. And our salt. Mix it all in there. Get it in there nice and good. And then we start rolling in our raisins. Now you can do currants, you can do the jellied fruit, you know, like from the what's that called? The fruit cake. The Stollen, if you like Stollen, you can do that as well. You can add this in here. So really, it's up to you. You can do the cherries, the maraschino cherries, or the jellied cherries, or whatever. You know, it's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I'm just following the recipe my number one fan that she sent over, and which called for raisins. And instantly, it's like, well, we could do raisins. We can do currants, folks. My local HEB currants, the only ones that they had were like $8. And no, that wasn't going to fly. Raisins are always good. California raisins. Remember those guys, the California raisin dudes? Yeah. So that'll work. And we're using these. Oh, it looks great already. All right, now we're ready to start rolling in our wet ingredients. I'm going to give that a little stirry stir. Mix it up again. Now, of course, the oil and the liquid is not going to combine properly. It's not going to mix, but hey, you know, if we can get it stirred up a little bit, it'll be fine. All right, this is going to go fast, so get ready. It says all at once, so put it all down. There we go. Until moistened. So we just keep working it in until it all gets moistened. Nice little batter. Oh, look at that. It's already starting to take shape. Look at all the raisins just doing their thing. All the clumps. Look for any dry spots. We had some over here, but mix it in. That way it all gets. All right, I'm going to let that sit for just a minute, just to get the for it to moisten up. Any spots I may have missed, I'm going to do it one more time. But in the meantime, I'm going to get that baking pan for the loaf pan. There it is, the loaf pan, and I'm going to go ahead and spray this up and get it ready to take that in. Alrighty, so the oven's ready, 350 degrees. We're going to go ahead and drop this in there. We're going to cook this for 1 hour, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 20 minutes, or 70 minutes. For those of you that count minutes, let's go ahead and get this into the pan. Now, why am I using the back of the knife? It's the flatter part, obviously. I'm not going to use the sharp end, but it's flat. I could use a spoon, whatever. But leave that alone. No, I'll get this. I just got this off of there. Come on. Remember, we had no yeast in here, so there's nothing to rise. So yes, you can do this. You'll be good to go. Alrighty. So of course that'll all take place in the oven. The sodium bicarbonate and all of that stuff will do its thing in the oven. So once it gets going, it gets going. Alright, let's get it in there. 1 hour, 10 minutes, and then we're going to take it out, allow it for cooling, and we'll take a nice little tasty taste of the bannock bread. Alright, let's get to work. Alright, there it is, out of the pan, out of the loaf pan. There, look at that, that's nice, good color. It did rise. I mean, you see above the, it did come up a bit, so not bad. There's the raisins. Yep, definitely could have been anything. Those jellied fruits that you use for the fruit cake or for stollen. Again, there it is, bannock bread. That's a British Irish bread. It's a frying pan bread, actually. You can do it in camping. You could have taken all of those dried ingredients and put them in a Ziploc bag, and then the wet ingredients, again, also in a Ziploc bag or some type of container, liquid container. And then when you got to your campsite, mix it all into the big Ziploc bag, and then just pour it into your cast iron skillet, and off you go. Again, very easy, very quick, and hopefully delicious. It's still a little warm. Ooh, I see a little bit of flour right there, but for the most part, it's very nice. It's heavy, it's dense. That much is true, it's very dense. So let's go ahead and cut this up, and let's give it a tasty taste, and let's make it happen. Alright, there it is. Got it in a quick little cutting board. Now again, this is a quick, easy bread, and because you could use it in camping, let's break out the camping knife that we use, and it's a full tang Ozark Trail mossy oak, well, not mossy oak handle, but it's really nice. Get it at your local Walmart, pretty cool. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and give it a cut. Oh, look at that. Raisins are done. Look at that, delicious. Alrighty, again, more raisins. Alright, so there we go, we can see it now. Really nice, densely packed, looks good, smells delicious. Alright, let's give it a tasty taste, and let's wrap this show up. Alright, there it is. There's the bannock bread. You can see the stain from the grapes, from the raisins. The little juice is coming out of it. I told you it was kind of sticky at the bottom. Alrighty, there that is. But before I give it the tasty taste, hey, veterans, make the call. 988, dial, press the 1. Alright, visit the Veterans Crisis Line. Again, it's there for you. You can text them also. Make the call. You find yourself, you need to talk to somebody, you have a question, you're not too sure how things are going, things are looking a little dark. Hey, don't go all the way. Make the call. That's what they're there for. And again, it's not just for veterans. Everyone else, you just dial 988. But veterans, when the automated attendant answers, press the number 1. Please make the call. Everyone, veterans included, again, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for liking. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. Love to hear from you. Again, thank you very much. And please come back often. All right, we got more stuff on tap. Again, today we were doing bannock bread. My #1 fan, she sent over the recipe and said, hey, how about some bannock bread? And like I said, this is something that always been in the back of my mind. I hadn't done it, but we're about to do it right now. Here it is. You know, the sweetness, because again, Splenda 50-50, a third a cup of Splenda, a third a cup of sugar, excellent flavor. You could add a little cinnamon to this, maybe a little nutmeg, maybe a little pumpkin spice. It's up to you, whatever you like, it doesn't matter. But what does matter is that you make it yours. So if you've ever made bannock bread, let me know. Did you like it? Did you not like it? How did you make it? And I'm going to do one on the outside. We're going to do one on the outside. We're going to get out there on the fire, on the cast iron. We're going to do the same recipe, the exact same recipe, but out on the, in the Ziploc bags like I mentioned. So either way, listen, I'm going to go enjoy this. I'm going to go watch me some football. Football's still in season. Alrighty, listen, I'm Dave Guerra, and This Vet Cooks.